Good morning, friends. Today we are going to talk about the basics of histology, especially epithelium and connective tissue. This lecture will contain a summarized manner of everything which is called the basics. Okay. So as we know, what is histology? Histology is made up of two words: histo plus logy. Histo means tissue, logy means to study. So basically, we are going to talk about the minute things or the things which can't be seen by the naked eyes. These things or tissues or cells are very important, especially for the clinical point of view in pathology and all these things. So here we are going to talk about very summarized things. So first of all, the tissues. These are the cells which work together in a functionally related group. How they are going to do with the help of some communications and attachments. There are four basic type of epithelial tissues like epithelial, which are going for especially for lining and covering, then connective, which is for support mechanism of the body, then muscular tissue, which is for movement, and then nervous tissue, which is basically for the control. So what are the general characteristics? It covers the body surface or lines of body cavity, especially we are talking about epithelial tissue, forms most of the glands. Functions are like protection, absorption, secretion, diffusion, filtration, forms slippery surfaces like mucus secretions. There are some special characters also like cellularity. Cells are in close contact with each other with little or no intercellular space between them. There are specialized contacts, may have junctions for both attachments and communications. Then polarity, epithelial tissues always has an apical and basal surface, support by the connective tissues. At the basal surface, both the epithelial tissue and the connective tissue contribute to the basement membrane. Then they are avascular. Nutrition mainly is from the diffusion from the basal layer underlying it, then the innervation, then the regenerative power. These are certain special characters of the epithelial tissues. So here in this diagram they have tried to show everything which is this way. You can see epithelium part and then you can see the connective tissue part. Here you can see there is no blood supply. Blood supply will be taken from here, the nutrition or the diffusion. And there is basal area and apical area. Certain cilia or microvilli like things are also present on the apical cells. Then there are cell junctions which can be many types like tight junction, adherent junction, desmosines or gap junction, which are for different purposes and are found in different places. Next, the classification. So, first name of the tissue indicates the number of layers especially. So, simple means one layer, as you can see in diagram. Stratified means more than one layer, just like straight or layering. Okay, so there will be layering like this. Many layers will be present. Then the last name of tissue describes the shape of tissue. Like it is squamous. Squamous means like a plate, like you can see in the diagram. Then cuboidal means cube like. Columnar means just like in pillar, cells are taller than they are wider, just like column. So you can see in diagram squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. So how the nomenclature of epithelia is going to happen? Naming of the epithelia includes both the layer first and then the shape of the cell. Like stratified cuboidal epithelium. Stratified means many layer or more than one layer, and the shape will be cuboidal. This we can take the inference from the stratified cuboidal epithelium. The name may also include some accessory structures like globulate cells, cilia, keratin, some special epithelial tissue which don't follow conventional system of nomenclature like pseudo-stratified, transitionals. So these are how the naming of the epithelium can happen. So first of all, we are going to talk about simple squamous epithelium. So in short, we can say it is a single layer of flat cells with a disc-like shaped nuclei. There are some special types like endothelium, which are inner covering, especially if we talk about the vascular system or artery and veins. Sleek lining of hollow organs. Then mesothelium, the middle covering, it lines peritoneum, pleural, and pericardial cavities, covers the visceral organs of those cavities. So this is simple squamous epithelium. Functionally, they are helping in the passage of material by passive diffusion and filtration. They secrete lubricating substance in serous membrane. Location, renal corpuscles, that is kidney, alveoli of lungs, lining of heart, blood and lymphatic vessels, lining of ventral body system like serosa or serous membrane. So these are the locations. So please try to remember the function and location of each of the type of epithelium, especially, okay, for the theory purpose also and for the spotting purpose also. These are certain slides which are showing you the simple squamous epithelium. You can see the shape, it is plate-like, and then mostly the nuclei are present on the borders of the shape. So these are the simple squamous lining of some capillaries are also shown here. Next is simple cuboidal epithelium. So it will be single layered and cube-like. Okay, just by the helping of the name, we can get some characters. The single layer of cube-like cell with large spherical central nuclei. Functions will be secretion and absorption. Location is basically kidney tubules, secretory portions of small glands and ovary surface. So this is one of the slide which you can identify. This is simple cuboidal epithelium of kidney tubules. Here you can see the cube-like cells and the bigger nucleus here. Certain more slides are there just for the more clear. Then the third one is simple columnar epithelium. Columnar means pillar like, simple means single. The single layer of column shaped rectangular cell with oval nuclei. Some of them can have cilia on their apical cells, may also contain some globulate cells. These are accessory features. Then function is absorption, secretion of mucus, enzymes and other substances. Ciliated type propels the mucus or reproductive cells by ciliary action. Location, non-ciliated forms basically are going to be found in the digestive tract, gallbladder, ducts of some gland. Ciliated ones are going to be found especially in the lines of small bronchi, uterine tubes and uterus. So cilia are found where something has to be pushed in certain direction. So cilia is required. Non-ciliated are basically for the absorption and secretion. Now a very specific type is there pseudo-stratified. So stratified means layered, but it is pseudo means not true. So these particular cells basically originate from the basement membrane, but the length of the pillar, the height of the pillar is different. Only tall cells reach the apical surface, may contain globulate cells and bear cilia. Nuclei lies at various heights within the cells, which gives the fall impression of stratification. So this is the answer why they are called as pseudo-stratified. This is due to the various varying height of nuclei within the cells, giving the false impression of stratification. Function is specifically secretion of mucus, propulsion of mucus by cilia. Location, non-ciliated type, you are going to find in ducts of male reproductive tubes, ducts of large glands. Ciliated type are the linings of trachea and most of the upper respiratory tract. So in this you can see the pseudo-stratified. You can see the names are little bit, the length is different and the length of height of nucleus is different. So it seems to be stratified, but actually it is non-stratified. Next comes the stratified epithelium. Contains two or more layers of the cells. It regenerates from the below. Major role is protection basically. They are named according to the shape of the cell at the apical layer. So first one is stratified squamous epithelium. Many layers of the cell because it is stratified. They will be squamous shape. Deeper layer of the cells appear cuboidal or columnar. The thickest epithelial tissue adopted for the protection. Then specified type, they can be keratinized, contain protective protein keratin. Surface cells are dead and full of keratins. Non-keratinized form the most moist lining of the body openings. Functions, protection. Locations, keratinized basically forms the epidermis, we know it, and then non-keratinized form the lining of the esophagus, mouth and vagina. So these are certain diagrams. You can see especially the upper layer, and then the name is given on the basis of upper layer basically, and then the stratification is seen very clearly. Then there is one more specific type known as transitional epithelium. The basal cells usually is cuboidal or columnar. Superficial cells are squamous or dome shaped. Function is stretching and permitting the distension of urinary bladder. Location basically lies in ureter, urinary bladder, and the part of urethra. So these are found in that particular places where something is going to be filled and then it is evacuated, like in our urinary bladder. So this is the slides for transitional epithelium. This is the relaxed state. This is the stretched state. In relaxed state, you can see the cells a little bit vacant, but in stretched, everything is tightly filled. Then, what is the specific point about the epithelial surface featuring? The first one, apical surface features. They can be microvilli. They are the finger-like extension of plasma membrane. abundant in epithelium of small intestine and kidney, maximize the surface area which helps in the absorption, act as a stiff knob that resists the abrasions. Apical surface cilia, they can be whip-like, highly motile extension of apical surface membrane, contains a core of 9 of the microtubules encircling in one middle pair. Exonym, a set of microtubules. Each pair of microtubules is arranged in the doublet. The microtubules in cilia are arranged similarly to the cytoplasmic organelles called centrioles. Movement of cilia is always in the coordinated wave-like manner. So here you can see the single cilia, then you can see the microtubules. There is one central microtubule, and they are always in doublet, and they are total 9 in numbers. So if you want to see the detail, you can see also that this is the ciliary movement, specifically in the wave-like manner. Now coming to the second part of this lecture, that is connective tissue. This is most diverse and abundant tissue. Main classes: connective tissue proper, cartilage, bone tissue, blood. Components are cells, matrix. Matrix contains fibers, ground substance. Ground substance is more important because it gives a specific character to each of them. It may contain certain chemicals also like dermatin sulfatate, hyaluronic acid, keratin sulfate, chondroitin sulfate, and they all have one common embryonic origin, that is they are going to develop from mesenchyme. Here you can see the classes which are all are developing from common origin point, that is mesenchyme. Then certain blast type of cells, the blast cells are producing cells. So fibroblast cell, it will produce fibrocyte, chondroblast will produce chondrocyte, osteoblast will produce osteocyte, and the class of connective tissue result will be from fibrocyte, specifically connective tissue proper, which will be subdivided into again loose connective tissue, dense connective tissue. Chondrocyte will form cartilage. Again, it is of three types: hyaline, fibro, and elastic cartilage. Osseous will be form bone, compact bone, and spongy bone. And blood, then it will be a different type, which will form RBC, WBC, and all these things. Specifically talking about alveolar connective tissue, it underlines all the epithelial tissues, surrounds small nerves and blood vessels, had structures and functions shared by the other connective tissues, borders all other tissues in the body. So these are certain characters of the areolar connective tissue. Structures within the areolar connective tissue allows the support and binding of other tissues, holding of body fluids, defending body against infection, storing nutrients as in fat. Loose connective tissue is areolar type, reticular type, and adipose type. Dense connective tissue is specifically regular, irregular, and elastic. So here this is specifically on the pattern of the fibrocytes which are going to be arranged inside them, or some specific characters which are going to be present, like in adipose, there will be fat globule. So first of all, areolar connective tissue, there is gel-like matrix, contains all three types of fiber: collagen fiber, reticular fiber, elastic fiber. Ground substance is basically made up of glycoproteins and secreted by fibroblasts. Cells you can find there are fibroblasts, macrophages, mast cells, WBC. Functions: it wraps and cushions the organs, holds and conveys the connective tissue fluid. Important role in inflammation, main battlefield in fight against infection. Defenders scatter at infection sites like macrophages, plasma cells, mast cells, neutrophils, lymphocyte, or eosinophils. So these are the descriptive about the areolar connective tissue. Location: it is widely distributed under epithelium. It's a packaging of organs, surrounds the capillaries. So here you can see a alveolar connective tissue slide, and you can see the pattern. Then there is a specific one known as adipose tissue. It is closely packed. Adipocytes you are going to find there. Nucleus is pushed to the one of the side due to the fat droplet. You can see the nucleus is pushed towards the one of the side. Another, there is a big vacuole is present. It is easily identified. It provides the reservoirs, food fluid, insulates against the heat loss, supports and protects the organ. Location: basically you are going to find it in under skin, around the kidneys, behind eyeballs, within the abdomen and breast region. Next type is reticular connective tissue. Network or reticular fibers in loose ground tissue substance we are going to basically find. Function: it forms a soft internal skeleton, supports the other cell types. Basically, you are going to find these kind of cells in the lymphoid organs like lymph nodes, bone marrow, and spleen. Then there is dense regular connective tissue. Fibers are arranged in parallel pattern. Fibroblasts and some elastic fibers are found. Poorly vascularized. Function is attachment of the muscles to the bone. Attaches bone to the bone. Withstand great stress from one direction. Location: tendons and ligaments and aponeurosis and fascias. So these are about the dense connective tissue. Next type of tissue is cartilage. It is firm and flexible, contains no blood vessel. It is very important. Cartilage are avascular and anerval. Matrix contains 80% of water. Cell type is chondrocytes. There are three types: hyaline cartilage, elastic, and fibrocartilage. So first of all, talking about hyaline cartilage. It is hyaline because it is imperceptible. Collagen fibers. Hyaline means glassy. Chondroblasts produce the matrix. Chondrocytes lies in the lacunae. Function is support and reinforcement. Resilient cushion resists the repetitive stress. So basically, where you are going to find it in fetal skeleton, ends of the long bones, costal cartilage of the rib, cartilages of the nose, trachea, and larynx. Next one is elastic cartilage. Elastic cartilage is similar to hyaline cartilage, but more of the elastic fibers are present there. Function is maintains the shape of the structure, allows less flexibility. Location is supports the external ear and epiglottis. Next type is fibrocartilage. Matrix is similar but less firm than hyaline cartilage. Thick collagen fibers are present. Function, it provides a tensile strength and ability to absorb the compressive shock. Location, intervertebral disc, very important. Pubic symphysis, disc of the knee joint. These all three examples are very important, and type of cartilage present is the fibrocartilage. Next is the bone tissue. It supports and protects the organ, provides the levers and attachment site for the muscles, stores calcium and other minerals, stores fat. Marrow is the site for the bone cell formation. Location, all type of bones. So basically, you are going to find these type of slides where you can find the osteocytes in lacuna. Certain specific characters are there which will be dealt in other lecture, and we are specifically going to talk about bone tissue. So there are Falkman's canals. There are certain Haversian canals which are present here. We'll talk about them. Then there is blood tissue. They are red and white blood cells in fluid matrix. Function is transportation of respiratory gases, nutrition and waste. Location within blood vessels. Characters. Atypical connective tissue develops from the mesenchyme. The blood tissue is also a big topic. We will deal this also in separate lecture also. Consists of cells surrounding the non-living muscle. Then there is a typical type known as muscle fiber. There are three types: skeletal muscle tissue, cardiac muscle tissue, and smooth muscle tissue. Here we are only going to talk about very summarized manner. The skeletal muscle tissue, they have long cylindrical cells, multinucleate, striations are present, function voluntary from voluntary movement, manipulation of environment, facial expression, location. Skeletal muscles are attached to bones, occasionally to skin, especially in the face pattern. So this is the slide of the skeleton. You can see the regular pattern of the cells of fibers. Then a specific type is present, cardiac muscle tissue. It contracts to propel the blood into the circulatory system. They are branching cells, uninucleate, striations are present, and most important, you can see this dark pink color line. These are intercalated discs which are present in this particular type of slide only. So it is very easy to identify the slide if you get this type of specific pattern of intercalated discs. Location occurs in the walls of the heart. Then the third type is smooth muscle fiber tissue. It is spindle-shaped cells with central nuclei arranged closely to form the sheaths. No striations are present. Propel the substance along the internal passageways. Involuntary control of all the things like in our intestine and all these things. Location, mostly walls of the hollow organs are made up of smooth muscle tissue. Means wherever involuntary movement is involved, smooth muscle tissue you are going to find there. Next type of tissue specific is nervous tissue. Function, transmit the electrical signals from sensory receptor to effectors. Location, brain, spinal cord, and nerve. Description, main components of brain spinal cords contain two types of cells, neurons and supporting cells, that is neuroglial cells. So here also it's a big topic. All the topic like blood tissue, muscle tissue, nervous tissue has to be dealt in a separate lecture separately, which we are going to do in very shortly. Now, what is tissue response to injury? There is the inflammatory response, which is non-specific and local. It limits the damage to the injury sites. Then after that, there is immune response, take longer to develop, and it is very specific. Destroys particular microorganism at the site of infection. For this particular, there is a specific chains of the cells are there. Some cells like memory cells are there, plasma cells, NK cells. So they are going to develop the immune response. The tissues throughout the life, at the end of second month of the development, primary tissues have appeared. Major organs are placed. In adulthood, only few tissues can regenerate. Many tissues still retain population of stem cells. With increasing age, epithelium is going to become more thin. Collagen is going to decrease, bone, muscle, and nerve tissue begin to atrophy because the collagen is decreasing. Poor nutrition and poor circulation also leads into the poor health of the tissues and ultimately in the poor health of the structures which are going to develop from that particular tissue. So that's all in a very summarized manner about the basics of histology, especially epithelium and connective tissue. Thank you.